Hi, good evening. Let us start the problem solving. We have covered all the theory that is available in terms of simple interest, compound interest. In the last concept-based session, we covered the theory of installments as well. So this is going to be a mixed bag set of questions. Let us give it a shot. Go on, try. You'll probably need 3 to 5 minutes for it. So go ahead, give it a shot. Joseph is in a dilemma. He has been offered a job which would pay him rupees 80,000 per month for first 3 years. And oh, some numbers are missing. Typing errors. Give me a second. You try this one till then. I'll just refer back the Word file and bring those numbers up. A sum of rupees 3,90,200 rupees is to be paid back in 3 equal annual installments. What is the amount of each installment at 4% per annum, and interest is compounded annually? Comment your answers. So if you remember, you have seen derivation of formulas. You have seen application of formulas. Very good. This will need some assistance of a calculator. What is the formula? What is the approach? If loan is Y rupees, rate of interest is R percentages. So R percentage increase can be written as K. So how many years are we going to make the payment in? 3 years. Y into K cube is equal to X into K square, X into K plus X. Do you guys remember the derivation of all this? This value 3,90,200 will be increased by 4 percentages for 3 years. So 1.04 cube is equal to the amount of installment multiplied by 1.04 square 1.04 multiplied by x and x. This is all you need to do in the exam. You don't have to go for derivation again and again. Y into k minus x into k minus. Don't do this. This is the end result of that particular derivation. So go for this formula without any worries. Let me also perform these calculations. Calculators will be needed. 309 390,200 into 1.04 into 1.04 into 1.04 three times. So this becomes 4,38,921 rupees and 93 paisa. Leave the paisa as it is. It will not matter that much. On the right side, I can take out x common. I can take out x common. Once I do that, I can have 1.04 square plus 1.04 plus 1. So on the right side, I have 3.1216. So I have to use this and divide the value 438,921.93. So the precise answer that turns out is 140,607.99, which is basically 140,608. Answer option A makes perfect sense. 3 equal annual installments of 1,40,000 will get the job done for you. Formula wise, we have seen this. Comment done. Yes, you need to be ready to use a calculator in the exam. Comment done. All right. So here some information was missing, so I just pulled up the Word file. I'll fill those gaps. Joseph is in a dilemma. He has been offered a job which would pay him rupees 80,000 per month for the first 3 years and 1,20,000 per month for the next 3 years and 1,50,000 per month for the remaining 4 years. He has been offered an MBA at a prestigious place and he is considering whether to accept the job or go for the MBA. The first year tuition fee for the MBA program is 16 lakh and second year tuition fee for MBA program is 20 lakhs. After MBA, he will get a salary of 20 lakh rupees per month for the first 4 years and 2 lakh rupees for the first per month for the first 4 years and 2,50,000 per month for the remaining 4 years. What will be the approximate percentage gain for Joseph in opting for MBA instead of job in 10-year horizon, considering no discounting of money? So I have filled in those gaps for you. It's a very good question, decent level question. You have close to 3 minutes. Try and solve. What were the gaps? The salary for 3 years is 1,20,000 per month. Salary for 4 years is 1,50,000 per month. Tuition fee for the first year is 16 lakhs. Second year tuition fee is 20 lakhs. And what payment is he getting? He is getting payment of 2 lakh rupees per month for 4 years and 2,50,000 per month for the remaining 4 years for a 10-year horizon. For a 10-year horizon, considering he goes for MBA, what will be his gain percentage? What will be his gain percentage? Go on, take 3 minutes, give it a shot. 3 minutes you have. Start. Comment answers. If you have reached any answer, comment your answer. You need to consider, okay, you want to wait. You need to consider what are the costs involved on one side and what is the earning on other side. So there will be a percentage change between the cost and the earning. And everything here is per month. Salary is per month. The only thing annual is the fees being paid. What is the gain percentage of this individual? Very good. Now, what I want you guys to do here is think logically. Whenever you want percentage change, we always write final value upon initial value. This helps us in calculating percentage change faster. So what is that he is receiving at the end of all of this? He is receiving 2 lakh rupees per month, 2.5 lakh rupees per month for 4 years and for 4 years. See, this is what he is receiving. So I will keep this in numerator. Please observe. 2 lakh rupees he is receiving. 12 months, 4 years. He is receiving 2.5 lakh rupees, 12 months, 4 years. This is what he is receiving. And he has to make a payment. He has to make a payment of what? 16 lakh rupees and 20 lakh rupees. So please observe how I'm writing here. He has to make a payment of 36 lakh rupees in these 2 years. So what is the numerator? The 10-year horizon. 2 years go to MBA because the question is 10 year का slot लेना आपको 10-year horizon. 2 years for MBA, this is the cost involved. 4 years, 4 years of earning. This is your final value of the numerator. How much money was he expecting? He was expecting 80,000. Can I say 80,000 is 0.8 lakhs? I'm converting everything into lakhs to decrease calculations. For how many months? 12 months. For how many years? 3 years. Then he was getting paid 1.2 lakh rupees for 12 months for 3 years. And then 1.5 lakh rupees, 1.5 lakh rupees for 12 months for 4 years. 3 year, 3 year, 4 year, 10 years are done. So I wanted to notice how simple does it become. The lakh does not matter. Lakh gets cancelled. Furthermore, do you see every one of these values is a multiple of 12. So I can cancel out 12. I can cancel out lakh. It will not matter. This will become 2 into 4, 8. This will become 2.5 into 4, 10. Because 12 has been cancelled, this will become 3 divided by 12 is gone. 0.8 into 3, 2.4. 1.2 into 3, 3.6. 12 is gone. 12 is gone. 1.5 into 4, 6. And you're almost ready with your answer. The numerator is 18 minus 3, 15. And the denominator is 6 plus 6, 12. Which is basically 5 by 4. How much is the numerator more? 1 more on 4 is 25% more. So he will be gaining 25% if he decides to go down the MBA route or the MBA line over 10 years duration. And now don't only think about 10 years. If he continues to work further, and you can see the growth is exponential, 2 lakhs, 2.5 lakhs, 3 lakhs, and so on, so on. So MBA is a good choice, guys, provided it is done from a good college. It is not a very big deal to solve this question. The big deal is to solve this in limited time period, limited time duration. Take out lakhs common, take out 12 common, and cancel everything. There is no point in going in such large numbers. I'm saying सीधा lakh cancel कर दो. 25%, 25%. You probably have made the mistake. आपने ये 3.6 lakh नीचे add कर दिया होगा, 36 lakhs. That is not the cost for the first 10 years. That is the cost once MBA is done. There are two scenarios. Starting from MBA, a 10-year duration. Not doing MBA, 10-year duration. So, दो 10-year का duration लेके you have to solve this particular problem. Lakh cancelled, 12 months cancelled. 25% gain or growth as compared to the previous scenario. बढ़े आगे? चलो. Go ahead, try. A mobile phone is available for rupees 5,000 cash or 1040 cash down payment followed by 4 equal monthly installments. Monthly installments. If the rate of interest charged is 25% per annum simple interest. Very nice. Per annum simple interest. Calculate each installment. What is the major difference between SI and CI? Power. In CI, you see n in the power. In SI, you see n in a multiple of r. This is probably the first question we are seeing on installments with SI. So take a minute or so, give it a try. Options are 1040, 960, 1100, 1200, and none of these. So the loan amount is not 5,000. 5,000 payment has been, or a part of the payment has been made, 1040 as down payment. So the loan falls down. The loan will decrease. The loan is no longer 5,000. You are making a down payment. First of all, what is the per month interest? See, 25% is annual. The question is per month. So I'm supposed to divide it by 4. When I divide it by 4, 6.25% per month will be charged per month. 5,000 rupees was the price, minus 1040, we have 3960 as a loan. The formula approach will remain same. It will be loan multiplied by, because there are 4 monthly installments, 1 plus 4r upon 100 is equal to first installment into 1 plus 3r upon 100, 1 plus 2r upon 100, 1 plus r upon 100, and when the last payment is made, we say done. So once you know this approach, once you know this writing pattern, and you know the value of r, अरे per month का है ना बाबा, per month divided by 12. Don't actually divide it by 12, just represent it. Just represent like this. Divide by 12. This is per month. Decimal कौन लगाएगा? So what is the loan amount? See, I'm starting to put this in formulas. 3960 multiplied by 1 plus 4r. 4r. So 4 into 25 by 12 upon 100. Cancel whatever is possible for you. Cancelled 3 times. Cancelled 4 times. This is 1 plus 1 by 12. So 3960 into 13 by 12. Leave it there. Now do you see this x will be multiplied here, here, here. So I will have on the right side 4x, 4x. And then when x is multiplied here, here, and here, I can keep x outside. I will have 3r plus 2r plus 1r. 3 plus 2 plus 1, 6. I will have 6r upon 100. How much is r? 25 by 12 upon 100. So again, cancel whatever is in your reach. Cancelled 2 times. Cancelled 4 times. So what I have on the right side is 4x plus x upon 8. Rearrange and you will have your answer in 2 steps. Cross multiply, that is 32 plus 1, 33. 33 upon 8x. Your answer is ready. Cancel these two, your answer is ready. Let me do it with the calculator. 3960 multiplied by 13 divided by 12 multiplied by 8 divided by 33. So when you cross multiply, you will have x is equal to 1040 precise. 1040 should be the answer, guys. Make sure you are not making calculation mistakes. Look at the way how I have arranged the whole formula first. Monthly, yes. So I've divided again by 12, yes. But 25/12 करके decimals क्यों बनाना? Let us wait for the end calculation. This part, when you look at this, let me use a different colored pen. What will this become? This 3 will go below, na? This will become 1 plus 1/12. This bracket, this 4 cancels it 3 times, 4 cancels it 3 times, and 25 cancels 100 4 times. So it becomes 1 plus 1/12, which is 13/12 on the left side. This is the value for the complete bracket. And do not panic. In simple interest, compound interest, the only part where they can trouble you is with calculations. Otherwise, concepts are very straightforward. Everyone confirm if you are able to keep up with this. Usually coaching classes save these questions for something called as uh, master classes, boosters, workshops. So what happens is there is a huge gap of couple of months between basic lecture and advanced lectures. And by that time, people forget basics. So most of it is gone, bouncer. So we are covering all of this in the flow. Moving on. Try. Sham borrows rupees 2 lakh from a bank at 10% per annum simple interest and clears the debt in 5 years if installments paid at the end of first, second, third, and fourth year to clear the debt are 20,000, 40,000, 60,000, 80,000 respectively. What amount should be paid at the end of fifth year to clear the debt? So this is probably the first question where the installment value is changing every year. 20,000, 40,000, 60,000, 80,000. So installment value is changing every year. Now you decide what is better suited to your needs. The formula approach, it will work perfectly fine, or the reducing balance approach from which we derive the formula. You guys decide what is better suited to your needs. What method are you more comfortable with? Sham borrows rupees 2 lakh from a bank at 10% simple interest and makes different payments. If you decide to go with the formula, what will that look like? 2 lakh rupees, because the payment is made over 5 years, 1.1 to the power 5. First installment will generate interest for 4 years. Second installment will generate interest for 3 years. Third installment, do you remember the power of k keeps on decreasing? 1.1 square 80,000 into 1.1, and then comes the final payment x. The final payment will have no interest attached. Final payment will be the end payment, so there is no interest attached with this. So go on, complete the calculation. You have the formula approach in front of you. I've told you the reducing balance approach is good. It is fine for such questions where the installment amount is changing frequently. अरे SI लिखा हमने, it is SI simple interest. So 10%, 10%, 5 times, so 1.5. 20,000 interest for 4 years, 40%. 40,000 interest for how many years? 3 years. 60,000 interest for 2 years. 80,000 interest for 1 year. Yes, thank you for making that correction. Simple interest, Baba, simple interest. So complete this. Don't apply reducing balance here. Reducing balance is only for compounding. Don't apply reducing balance here. Mistake हो जाएगा. So what we have here is 2 lakh rupees. So on solving this, you will find this value. This basically becomes 3 lakh rupees. This is 40% interest. That means 28,000 rupees. This is 30% interest. That means 52,000 rupees. This is 20%. So 72,000 rupees. And this is 10%. So 88,000 rupees. So when you subtract it from this, you will have x is equal to 60k. So in the next question, whenever you have time, you cross it off and make it CI and resolve the whole problem. 60k, precise answer, 60k. Yes, yes, we changed that. I changed that. Yeah, that this is correct. Yes, go on, give it a shot. So by now we have solved 8 questions, 9 questions of this type. A scammer borrows rupees 5100 to be paid back at compound rate at 4% per annum by the end of 2 years in two equal yearly installments. How much will each installment be? How much will each installment be? And it is clearly mentioned. If nothing is mentioned, you take compounded, but here it is mentioned compounded rate of interest. So go on, take 1 minute, type your answer quickly. Very straightforward. Now, none of these presents a problem. None of these presents a problem. And these options are very close. Otherwise, I could show you one more trick. We have talked about this. What is half of this number? Half of this number is 2550. Because there is a rate of interest involved and you are breaking it down in two parts, your installment will be above this. So this option are already gone. None of these is the biggest problem here. If your answer is any decimal, 2708.2, you have to go for this. Even if it is an integer, we can mark. If none of these was not there, even now, these options are very close. See, because you are making installments, making payments in installments, two installments here. So you divide the principal by 2 and the value above that will be the answer. But there are two answers that are above that. Did not help me much. Is the answer clear to everyone? Confirmation on the answer. Give it a shot. A small variation. The payment is half yearly. How many? Two payments are there. Compounded 10% per annum. Go on. The question is find the amount of interest charged. A man borrows money on compound interest, returns it in two equal half-yearly installments of rupees 4410 each. If the interest is charged 10% per annum, compounded half-yearly, find the interest charged. Interest charge. We do not know what is the loan value that he has taken. So if he has made two equal payments of 4410, so total money he has paid is 8820. If I find out the value of loan, let us say loan is Y rupees. So payment minus loan is the interest paid. That is your question. How much interest has he paid? So I'm saying Y rupees is the loan. 10% is annual. So half yearly it is 5%. 1.05. Half yearly twice. So square. The payment is 4410 into 1.05 plus 4410. You have to rearrange and confirm. So here I have 4410 into 2.05. Left side what I have is 1.05 square. 1.1025. 4410 into 2.05 divided by 1.05 square. So when I rearrange this, I get loan amount as 8,200. So if the loan amount is 8,200, loan amount is 8,200, how much interest has been paid? 620 rupees interest has been paid here. We have talked about this breaking a larger scheme into smaller parts. We divide the rate of interest. 10% is for a year. Half yearly means twice in a year. So dividing it in two equal parts. Once you have learned a concept, once you have understood the theory behind it, maintain speed, guys. Always think about what should be the next step. Once you formulate that this is given, this is asked, how to connect the two, think about the next step, next step, next step. Confirmation on this? Very good. Try. A person invests a total amount of rupees 15 lakh. A part of it was invested in a fixed deposit earning scheme, 6% annual interest. The remaining amount was invested in two other deposits in the ratio of 2/1, earning annual interest at the rate of 4%, 3% respectively. If the total annual interest income is 76,000, then the amount in rupees lakhs invested in the fixed deposit was. Fixed deposit means the first investment, first amount is being asked. So go on, give it a try. Take 3 minutes, 5 minutes. 1 year and interest is generated for 1 year. The entire discussion is for only 1 year. No, the question clearly says na, at the end of 1 year. Total annual interest, the total annual interest income through income is annual, साल का. So how should you start solving this question? See, a portion of the money, X rupees, is going on 6%. The remaining is divided in the ratio of 2/1. And the interest are 4%, 3% respectively. And total interest is 76,000 annual. Annual, साल के end में. So here I am suggesting don't assume X here, issue होगा. Assume the investment as 3x here. इधर का investment 3x ले लो. So if the investment is 3x, you are depositing, please observe, 2x rupees you are depositing at 4% interest. You are depositing x rupees at 3% interest. Please pay attention. You are depositing 15 lakh rupees, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 lakh rupees minus 3x, at 6% interest. And how much are you earning? 76,000. 76,000. So you notice this simplifies your calculation. If I transfer this 100 on the right side, this 76,000, I've added one extra zero. Yeah. 76,000 becomes or turns into lakhs. Here. Now you rearrange the whole calculation on left side, you'll have your answer in 2 steps. What I have is here 8x plus 3x, 11x. And please observe 11x minus 18x. So minus 7x. This 6 multiplies with this becomes 90 followed by 5 zeros is equal to 76 followed by 5 zeros. Transfer it here. 90 minus 76, 14 followed by 5 zeros is equal to 7x, cancel 2 lakhs. X is equal to 2 lakhs. If x is equal to 2 lakhs, that means 6 lakh rupees were invested here and 9 lakh rupees were invested here. Please observe, even though the question is about calculation, you can do it wisely. It is better you assume the last part as 3x. What benefit does that present to us? It makes the whole calculation an integer based calculation. If you assume the first amount to be x rupees, so the remaining amount is 15 lakh minus x, और फिर उसको 2/3 करना पड़ेगा, 1/3 करना पड़ेगा. It's difficult. If you had started with x rupees in the beginning, तो ये तो बड़ा आसान है, x का 6%, but now 15 lakh minus 2/3x, 15 lakh. इसका फिर you'll have to calculate 4%, and 15 lakh minus 1/3x. For this, you'll have to calculate 3%. This becomes very troublesome. You start by assuming the money here is 2x and 1x. So money here is 3x. 2x rupees 4%, 3x rupees 3%, and then 15 lakh minus 3x, and rearrange the whole thing. Now, I am not sure whether you guys will be able to. 9 lakh rupees is the answer. Answer is 9 lakh rupees were deposited in fixed deposits. Now, there is one more way in which you could think, but for this, you need to understand the concept of averages. So see, I'm adding one extra slide. I cannot go back to this slide. I cannot move away from this slide. This is slightly superior approach. When you already have this as 2:1, why don't you assume this was also in some ratio? Some ratio was there, n. There is a 6% interest here. There is a 4% interest here. There is a 3% interest here. So the average interest would be 6n plus 8 plus 3 upon the addition of these three, n plus 3, which will be the total interest. What is total interest? 76,000 upon 15 lakh into 100, because the percentage, left hand side is a percentage, right side will also be a percentage. So you notice here, these 5 zeros and 5 zeros are cancelled. 76 upon 15. You have to only find the value of n. So cross multiplying this, this becomes 90n plus this is 11 into 15. 11 into 15, 165 is equal to 76n plus 76 into 3, 822. Transfer this, this is 14n. Transfer this, this is 3, 6. So n is equal to 9/2. N is equal to 9/2. So 9/2 ratio 2 ratio 1. Rearrange all of this. 9:4:2. This is your distribution fraction. How many lakhs? 15 lakhs. Addition is 15. So everything is worth 1 lakh. So this is 9 lakhs 4 lakhs and 2 lakhs. Take your time, copy this down. This is what averages approach. थोड़ा different है than what you are accustomed to. I have taught you percentage, I have taught you ratios, I have shown you how to calculate average of a percentage. I hope you copied down the whole approach. Moving on to the next. Amal invests 12,000 at 8% interest compounded annually and 10,000 at 6% interest compounded semi-annually. Both investments being for 1 year. Bimal invests his money at 7.5% simple interest for 1 year. If Amal and Bimal get same amount of interest, then the amount in rupees invested by Bimal is. So you're looking at a CAD question, past CAD question. Go on, solve, take 2 minutes. $12,920 is one of the answers I've received. Others also need to try and answer these questions. So Amal is investing 12,000 at 8% compounded annually. So basically he will receive 8% of this. It is SI or CI for 1 year, they are both same. So 8% should be 960 rupees. Now 10,000 rupees is on 6% compounded semi-annually. So 6% semi-annually would mean 3%. So what I'll be doing here is step by step, 10,000 increased by 1.03 square minus 10,000. This is the amount of interest. This is the amount of interest generated. 10,000 multiplied by 1.03, 1.03 minus 10,000. So we have 609 rupees interest. The third person is getting equal interest. So what is the addition of this number and this number? Addition is 9615. This much interest he is getting on 7.5% interest. So what is his investment? That is your question. So I'll say 1569 divided by 7.5 and multiplied by 100. So the investment the other person has made for 1 year is 20,920. Absolutely, this is the answer. You need to be willing to make calculations in such questions. Reason being, SI and CI, they will trouble you either with the language or the calculation. And for calculation, you have calculators. Calculators are there. Make sure there is no mistake in calculation here. That's all. 1569 is the interest earned by Amal. I want Bimal to earn same interest, same amount of interest. So Bimal is earning how much interest? 7.5%. So 7.5% of his investment is equal to 1569. So rearrange, your answer shall be ready in 2 steps. You have to just rearrange that. Moving on. A person closes his account in an investment scheme by withdrawing rupees 10,000. 1 year ago, he had withdrawn 6,000. 2 years ago, he had withdrawn 5,000. 3 years ago, he had not withdrawn. He had not withdrawn any money. How much money had he deposited approximately at the time of opening the account 4 years ago? If annually 10% compound interest is considered each year. So when he closes the account, he has withdrawn 10,000 rupees. A year before that, 6,000 rupees. A year before that, he had withdrawn 5,000 rupees. 3 years ago, he had not withdrawn any money. How much money did he deposit approximately at the time of opening 4 years ago, if 10% interest is considered for each year? So if you want to visualize this problem, draw a number line or a year line, time frame basically. So there are 4 intervals, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right now 10,000 rupees have been withdrawn. Year before that 6,000 were withdrawn. Year before that 5,000 were withdrawn. There was nothing withdrawn here, and the deposit was made here. A deposit was made here. So if I was to approach this through reducing balance, it is reversal of deposits. So when this X rupees comes here, X rupees comes here, already 10% interest has been generated for 2 years. Then 5,000 was withdrawn. This continues for another year. Then 6,000 was withdrawn. This continues for another year. And then finally 10,000 was withdrawn and account was closed. There's nothing anymore to withdraw. So if you rearrange this 1.1, 1.1, 1.1 comes inside x into 1.1 to the power 4. This 1.1, 1.1 is multiplied here. So let me put it on the right side now. 5,000 into 1.1 square, 6,000 into 1.1, and 10,000. That's it. Now in 3 steps you will have your answer. Look at the way I have drawn those 4 years, 4 intervals. If you think systematically in this manner, in 3 to 4 steps you should have your answer. So right side value is 22,650. All of these numbers added are 22,650. So when I bring this in the denominator here, I get the investment or the deposit as 15470 point something, 0.25 rupees. 15,470 rupees. None of these. NOT, none of these. Now you guys will say, sir, we have never seen such questions, or we have not seen such questions in booklets. Why haven't you? Such questions are usually reserved for workshops, master classes, and whatever fancy name you want to offer them, rocket sessions. Complete the calculation, verify my answer through your own calculation. 15,470 rupees. If it is deposited today, 2 years down the line, you can withdraw 5,000, then 6,000, then 10,000. Confirmation on done. Moving on. Mr. Mehra is planning for higher education expenses for his 2 sons aged 15 and 21. He plans to divide 15 lakh in two equal parts and invest in two different plans such that his sons may have access to 21 lakh rupees each when they reach the age of 21. He is looking for a plan that will give him simple interest per annum. The rate of interest for his of the plans for his younger and elder son should be very careful with values here. First thing, he wants to divide 15 lakh rupees equally. So he is dividing 7.5 lakhs and 7.5 lakhs. He wants this money to turn into 21 lakhs. 21 lakhs each. How many years are there for the elder son to reach the age of 21? There are 6 years. And for younger son, there are 9 years. See, because the question is simple interest, it becomes an easy problem. All you have got to do is find the growth rate. So how much is the growth rate between these numbers? What is the growth rate? So 21 divided by 7.5, it is becoming, listen to my language very carefully, it is becoming 2.8 times. 2.8 times means how much is the growth? 180% is the growth. You guys remember earlier in SICI we have talked about when the money becomes n times, what is the growth? N minus 1 into 100. Money becomes double, growth is 100%. Money becomes triple, the growth is 200%. Money is becoming 2.8 times, the growth is minus 1 into 100, 180%. 180% growth in 9 years means 20% growth every year. Once I find the value for younger child, there's only one answer option that says 20, I'm done. Here also if you see, the amount is same, 7.5 lakh becoming 21 lakh. It is becoming 2.8 times. So 2.8 times mean 180% growth in 6 years, which is 30% growth overall. By verifying only for the younger child, you and I can mark our answer. We don't have to worry about the other child. The best thing about this problem was simple interest. That makes calculations easier. Multiplication of n would mean n minus 1 into 100 growth. सिंपल इंटरेस्ट तो आपको फॉर्मूला लगाना नहीं चाहिए. Amount borrowed at simple interest gets tripled in 24 years. How many years does it take to get double if the interest is same? A very simple question. You guys can solve it on your own. Yeah, this is a slightly advanced level question. So go on, give it a try. I'll give you 3 to 5 minutes. Vinay takes a loan of rupees 15,000 from Akash at simple interest, 5% per annum, and agrees to pay it back in 3 years. Akash gives him two options: either pay the full amount with the interest at the end of 3 years, or pay three equal annual installments. What is the difference in interest paid between the two schemes? One is you pay everything at the end of 3 years. Other is you make equal installments, three equal installments. Again, the good thing, simple interest. In simple interest, you don't have to square and cube the R value. You don't have to perform this calculation. Rather, you have to perform this calculation. Go on, take 3 minutes. Give me an answer. If I first calculate the total payment as one-time payment at the end of all of this, because rate of interest is 5% for 3 years, so this 15,000 will turn into 15 percentage higher, or 15 percentage extra will be charged. So by multiplying these two, 15,000 multiplied by 1.15, this turns into 17,250 as the complete payment. That is one-time payment. Now, if 15,000 rupees is being paid over 3 years, interest will be again 15%. But when the first payment is made, it will generate 10% interest because there are 2 more years after it. Second payment will generate 5% interest, and the third payment will be as it is X. So this value 17,250 is equal to X multiplied by 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3.15. So here the value of X I am getting is 5,476.19. That is the one installment value. How many installments have been paid? 3 installments. So the total payment made is 16,428.57. So how much is the gap when this is subtracted from 17,250? The gap is 821 rupees, 821.42. 821.42. The gap here is 821 rupees. 821 rupees less are needed. So if you are paying installments rather than paying the whole thing in one go, you have to pay 821 rupees less. Nearest integer. It was 821.4 something. 821.42. So it is 821. Moving on. Shiva saves 15,000 at the beginning of each year in a savings bank account that pays 5% interest compound annually. If at the beginning of third year, instead of depositing 15,000, he withdraws 8,000, how much would be the total savings of the man at the end of 3 years? So again, if you draw a timeline, it will be easier for you to visualize what is happening. The question is compounded annually. So you'll have to deal with powers, 1.05 cube, 1.05 square, and so on, so on. This is a question based upon deposits. So beginning of year 1, 15,000 rupees deposited. Beginning of year 2, 15,000 rupees deposited. Beginning of year 3, deposit was not there, but a withdrawal of rupees 8,000 was there. This is beginning, this is starting, this is starting, this is starting. When the third year ends, what money will be available. So I can approach this with reducing balance. It will be better and faster. This 15,000 rupees will increase by 5%. Then another 15,000 rupees are added. This will reach here and increase by 5%. Now, rather than adding, we are taking away 8,000 rupees, and this will again continue for another year. This is your answer. This is your answer. You want to go step by step and add these numbers, subtract these numbers, perfectly fine. Let me do this for you. ₹15,000 increased by 5%. This part becomes 15,750. In that, another 15,000 is added. So this part combined becomes 30,750. And what is happening? 5% growth in that. So after this growth, the value becomes 32,287.5. Let us keep that 0.5 in mind because we have to type the nearest integer. So keep that 0.5 in mind. So from this, what is subtracted? From this, 8,000 rupees are taken away. So we have 24,000. After this, 8,000 are taken away. We have 24,287.5. I am going to grow it by 5%. That is my answer. Into 1.05. So this takeaway money is equal to 25,501 rupees and 87 paisa. If the question is nearest integer, your answer should have been 02. 25502 rupees are takeaway amount. 25,502 rupees. I must be getting a hang of when to use reducing balance approach, when to use formula. Moving on, guys, moving on from this. Confirmation for this problem. Try. Gopal borrows rupees X from Ankit at 8% annual interest. He adds Y rupees of his own money and then lends rupees X plus Y to Ishan at 10% annual interest. At the end of the year, after returning Ankit's dues, the net interest retained by Gopal is the same as that accrued to Ankit. On the other hand, had Gopal lent X plus 2Y rupees to Ishan at 10%, the net interest retained by him would have increased by rupees 150. If all interests are compounded annually, find X plus Y. So this sounds more like variable based question: X, Y, X plus Y, X plus 2Y. One thing that is good about this is everything is annually. Everything is about 1 year. So it makes no difference whether it is SI or CI, because it is about 1 year only. You don't have to worry about squares and cubes. For 1 year's time, SI and CI both behave the same. So one very simple thing that you could do here is pictorially represent the flow of money first. Once you do that, you'll have a clear idea about who is getting how much money. So how many people are involved? 3. There are 2 comparisons. One, in the first case, Gopal is giving how many rupees? X rupees at 8%. To whom? To Aniket. Now, Aniket, what he does is he adds his own money Y rupees and he gives X plus Y rupees at 10%. To whom? To the next fellow. I think the next person's name is not given. Ishan. He gives it to Ishan. Now, at the end of the year, after returning Ankit's dues, the net interest retained by Gopal is same as that accrued to Ankit. What is the interest given to? अरे बाबा, Gopal borrows. Gopal borrows from Ankit. देखो ना, नाम उल्टे लिखे हैं. So Gopal borrows X rupees from Ankit at 8%, and Gopal adds his own money via rupees to give it to Ishan. Now, can I say Gopal will be paying 8% interest of X to Ankit? And what is he receiving in return? He is receiving 10% of Y. Can I say he gave X rupees on 10%? So he would have received 10% of X and he makes a payment of 8. So he still has 2% of X saved with him. So interest saved by Gopal is same as the interest paid to Ankit. This gives me idea. When I transfer this, this offers me 2% subtracted 6%. 6x is equal to 10y. X upon y is equal to 5 upon 3. First hint that I have is this. That is first comparison. What is second comparison? Please observe. Here, Ankit offers X rupees at 8% to Gopal. Gopal does not add Y rupees. He adds 2Y rupees. He adds 2Y rupees. So I'm writing this. Look at this. I'm writing Y plus Y. So he gives away X plus 2Y rupees at 10% to Ishan. Here, listen to the language. On the other hand, had Gopal lent X plus 2Y rupees at 10%, the net interest retained by him. What is the interest retained by him? This is the interest retained by him. It would have increased by 150 rupees. Why will it increase by 150 rupees? Because he is offering Y rupees more. Because as compared to earlier, he is offering Y rupees more. That means those Y rupees will generate 10% extra, which is 150 rupees. That is all. That is all you have been told. If he gives away money to Y, he generates 150 rupees more. Retained would have increased by more. Retained would have increased by 150 rupees. Cancel, cancel. This gives me Y is equal to 1500. If Y is equal to 1500, X must be 2500. What is X plus Y is the question. It's a theta question from CAT. So if you simply focus on the flow of the money, the movement of the money from Ankit to Gopal, X rupees at 8%. From Gopal to Ishan, there are two cases. One is X plus Y rupees and the second is X plus 2Y rupees. In the case of X plus 2Y rupees, you are able to generate 150 rupees more. Why are there 150 rupees more? Because that is 10% of Y. Confirmation on this? Couple of more advanced level questions are there, then we'll call it a day. Maybe 3 or 4 more questions are there. Moving on. Suresh borrows a certain sum at a simple rate of interest. If instead the sum was borrowed at compound interest, with interest being compounded annually, the total interest for 2 years would have increased by rupees 120, while the total interest for 3 years would have increased by rupees 375. Find the sum and also the rate of interest. You can take the approach of formula, or you can try splitting these terms. Basically, it is a comparison between SI and CI for 2 years and 3 years. So if you remember, we have talked about some results earlier. In earlier lectures, we have talked about the formula of difference for 2 years and 3 years. Let me apply common sense method here. We are saying the principal is same, the rate of interest is same. So I say that simple interest for year 1, year 2 and year 3 will not change. It will remain X rupees, X rupees, X rupees. But compound interest is same for the first year. Second year, listen to my language. Second year, there is 120 rupees more. There is earning of 120 rupees more. Clearly, it says in 2 years, the interest increases by 120 rupees. And for 3 years, for the first 3 years, it increases by 375. So I will have X rupees here. Please understand now what I'm doing here. See, there is a R percentage growth. There is a R percentage growth. So X rupees becomes X plus 120. Please follow this. This X rupees will again become X plus 120. This 120 rupees will be there, and then there will be R percentage extra on this. So what is the 3 years gap? See, total is 375. This is 120, 120, 120. That is 360 plus 15. This 15 rupees is R percentage of 120. 15 rupees is R percentage of 120. Cancelled, cancelled. Rate of interest is 12.5%. Take your time, observe. Are you able to understand what I have done here? X rupees will definitely give you 120. This X rupees is increasing by R percentage. This is R percentage. This is R percentage of X. So this X rupees will again give you 120 extra. This 120 is already there. It will generate some percentage. So this is the R percentage. This is approach without any formula, applying the internal working. Once I know it is 12.5%, that means 120 is 12.5% of X. Cancel, cancel 8. X is equal to 960. The interest for the first year is 960. And 960 itself is 12.5% of the principal. So cancel, cancel 8, cross multiply 0, 8 carried over 4, 7,680. R is equal to 12.5% and P is equal to 7,680 rupees. Take your time. Did you understand the 120 part? What is the concept of compounding? It generates R percent interest over every year. First year it is X rupees. So R percentage of X rupees is 120 rupees. Now when this 120 rupees plus X goes to the next year, तो बेटा increase होगा ना, तो this has to be there. This is the previous year value. And इसका R percentage is 120 और इसका R percentage is rupees 15. Let me rearrange this for you. Simple interest is X rupees, X rupees, X rupees. Compound interest is X rupees. Please observe, X rupees plus R percentage of X rupees, which is 120. See, ये पूरा पैसा सेकेंड ईयर का इंटरेस्ट है. When you go to third year, सेकेंड ईयर का अमाउंट तो रहेगा ना. Then you will have R percentage of this, which is 120 rupees. You will have R percentage of this. So देखो ना, what is the extra part? 120, 120, 120 is 360. For 3 years, how much extra? 375. तो 15 रुपया extra. So this 15 rupees is basically R percentage of 120. Interest increases, बेटा 375 का गैप है ना. 3 years there's a gap of 375 rupees. In 3 years time there's a gap of 375 rupees. What is the gap between SICI for 3 years? Moving on. So from this you can find out rate of interest and principal as well. Suresh borrowed rupees 15,000 from Amish at 10% compound interest compounded annually. He had to repay the loan in 3 annual installments that are in an arithmetic progression. Be very careful with this. He paid rupees 18,000 in total. Find the amount he paid. Find the amount he paid in the first year. What was the amount paid in the first year? Go on, try. Yeah, I'll go back to the previous slide. Others, copy this down. Start solving this. You look previous slide. You could take another approach here. P into R square upon 100 square is rupees 120. P into 3R square upon 100 square plus R cube upon 100 cube is equal to 3 years gap, 375. You can try and solve this ratio. You can try and solve this ratio. It has become a cubic equation, but R square cancel jayega. So you can find out value of R from this. No, that one I cleaned the board. I cleaned the board. I cleaned the whole slide for that one. Can't go back. Can't go back to that. So in this case, those who have tried, let me explain this to you. There is a word used here, arithmetic progression. What was the money borrowed? 15,000. What was the interest agreed? 10%. In how many years is it to be paid? In 3 annual installments. So this 18,000 is the addition of 3 values. So in arithmetic progression, there's something called arithmetic progression. If I say 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, when numbers have equal gap, this is called the arithmetic progression. And one very simple way to solve AP is, see, if I assume the middle value as x, the next value as x plus common difference, x minus common difference. And when I add these, I have 3x is equal to 18,000. That means the second year payment was 6,000. If you're going to make second year payment as 6,000, AP can be increasing, AP can also be decreasing. So there are two possibilities. The value before this is less. If it is less, then the next value should increase further. So if I imagine the value is less, I'm testing. So these options are gone. One option is 5500, one option is 5800. I have to check which gives me the exact answer. Let me check this value for you. If the value is 5800 for the first year, the next year value should be 6,200 because gap needs to be same. So let me apply the concept of installments and calculate the total value for you. 15,000 rupees when raised by 10% thrice gives me what amount? I'm trying to get the closest value or the exact value to be paid. यहाँ पे AP लाके थोड़ा आपको नया लग रहा होगा. 15,000 raised by 10% thrice. So this has become 19,965 rupees. Here, the first payment increases for 2 years, second payment increases for 1 year, and third payment does not increase, compounding. 5800, 1.1 square plus 6,000 into 1.1 plus 6,200. So what I have got for you here is these three add up to 19,296. There is a 700 rupees gap. ये पैसा कम पड़ रहा है. Let me try this one. If second year value is 6,000, the first year value is 5,500. So last year value should be 6,500. Interest for 2 years, interest for 1 year, and final payment. You have to be agile with calculations here with calculator. 1.1 square plus 6,000 into 1.1 plus 6,500. So this value combined comes down to 19,755. None of these answers match the overall calculation. So let me try this value. See, it cannot be 6,000. Let me try this value. If it is 7,000 for the first year, 6,000 for the second year, and because it is 1,000 less, so it will be 5,000 for the next year. Let us add 10% here twice, 10% here once, and this finally. Let us check how close do we get. 7,000 increased by 1.1 twice, 6,000 increased by 1.1, plus 5,000. So this one gets me 20,070 rupees. So out of these choices, this is the correct one. What is the concept of AP? नहीं 7,000 क्रॉस नहीं किया. I assume the first value is lesser, so I checked the two lesser values. I am getting answer which is 700, 800 beyond the target. But when I use 7,000, I am getting the answer in the range of 100 rupees. AP could be increasing, AP could be decreasing. 6,000 cannot be the value. Take this question as homework and comment answers in the group. Rohan takes a loan of X rupees at 10% simple interest. He paid back in installments of 10,000, 12,000, and 13,800 for first, second, and third year respectively. Had he taken the same loan of rupees X at 10% CI, the first one is what? The first one is what? Simple interest. Had he taken the same loan at 10% CI and paid back in 3 equal annual installments, what will be the difference between the total amount paid by Rohan or Rohan paid in both schemes? Type your answer as nearest integer. Again, this is a theta question. Did we make calculation mistake in the previous one? No. Here we don't have a choice as to what you want to begin with. Option में से आंसर आएगा. See, if you say you're getting the answer as 6,500 for the first year, that implies 6,500 for the first year, 6,000 for the second year, and 5,500 for the next year. So see, whatever answer you're getting with 6,500, you should get with 5,500 as well. अच्छा, year कम ज़्यादा हो जाएंगे ना वहाँ पे. Yeah, there's a possibility of that as well. Yes, you're able to match it precisely. Very good. But here we are given options, so I'm going with options. Out of these choices, the best one is C. If this was a theta question, again, if this was a theta question, yes, the answer might be different if you calculate precisely. In theta, you don't have any options to work with. There's a possibility for that, yes. Moving on from this. Take your time, copy down this information, and give it a shot. So again, a comparison sort of between SI and CI. Rohan took a loan of rupees X at 10% simple interest, and he pays back 10,000, 12,000, 13,800. No, both are possible. If it is a AP, increase, decrease, both are possible. Second case is same loan is being paid back in 3 equal installments. What will be the difference between amount Rohan paid in both schemes? That's it. Done, guys. Good night.